I had one of the hardest days I can remember today. What I have to say about it is that I'm really grateful to, I should rather say, for the practice that I have and the teachers that transmitted the practice to me. Because even in the face of just an impossible day, I'm able to sit with you and have enough, clarity to really open my heart and feel some extraordinary beauty that I can bring to share with you in this moment and feel and see it in you. And I think at the end of that I go, just how cool is that? And of course I'm looking around the room as I always do, and I'm seeing that a lot of you have had a hard day too, and maybe a hard week. And, I want to say to you, this world probably isn't going to get any easier. It might get a lot harder. It might. I hope not. Really, I hope not. It's like every day is a test. So it could, but I hope not. But the main thing is that in all of this intensity and difficulty, if we can't make contact with our hearts, if our heads are going so loopy that we can't bring our awareness into our heart and hold it there somehow. And there are a lot of different techniques we've talked about. The simplest one for me is when I'm feeling topsy-turvy, I just feel my heart and repeat the name of my guru, Rudy, and feel the love that I hold in my heart for him and the sweetness and the strength that was in that love. And I feel my breath as I say it. And it's not very hard to do. It's not very hard. Just to remember that the extraordinary connection that we have. That really helps us to hold our connection to our own hearts, which the pounding that the world gives everybody is constantly denying us, the experience of. I'll go on to say for a moment that I think for me, the most important, powerful, and underrated in our program, in our culture, experience, that is, of our spirit, that facilitates our spiritual growth, is having a teacher. And so think about this with me for a second. Think about it. What if you had a real teacher? What if you had a real teacher? What if you were blessed with the company of a completely realized person who was available to you? What would that feel like to you? How would you feel about that? How would that feel? What if that teacher accepted you and cared for you and, taught you, or at least tried to teach you? And wrapped you in unconditional love. What would that feel like? I had that when I went to Bloomington, Indiana, with a penny in my pocket, nothing, and and bought a house. I mean, a lot of things happened. I don't know how I feel about it at this point. I think, I should have been looking for a cave or a cabin in the woods far, far away from humanity. But in any case, I wasn't. I was looking for a house to set up a camp to begin to try to help people. And everything I wished for in the space of my connection with my teacher, everything I wished for came true. Everything. The thing is about teachers, the teacher you're looking for is not the teacher you will get. The teacher that you think you ought to have is not the teacher who you will be blessed by. There are a million stories all over in Buddhism and in Hinduism, of stories of people who went looking for teachers and sat down next to some scummy old person and who they were berating and being mean to, until suddenly that person turned into ta-da. Rudy wasn't the teacher I was looking for. Rudy, not materially. Rudy embodied all of the extraordinary beauty and compassion and fierce commitment to growing and caring that, awakened I'm walking down the street with him the first day I meet him. He's eating sauerkraut, hot dogs with sauerkraut. I've been a strict vegetarian for about 3 years, and he's wiping the mustard off his face with his shirt as he walks up to sit down and teach. I realized, I really did get it, that this was not what I thought it was going to be. And in some sense, I felt wonderful. I felt liberated by that. Okay, this is going to be interesting. And it was. Life doesn't give us what we think we need. Life gives us, the opportunity to let go of our egos and our arrogances, and connect to pure source and awaken from within ourselves an unimaginable possibility that is beauty beyond anything words can describe. And in the space of a connection with a teacher, if you can hold your heart there and keep all of your judgments and your tensions and your bullshit out of it, which is what you're there, that's the work that each of us are there to do in any case. If we can keep the crap out of it, what can happen there is an education that informs us of eons of work. It's an education of eternity. Because the one becomes two, becomes profound abundance. The one is the space of connectedness, because everything is connected. The two, which are equal, is teacher and student. And in that space, all wisdom and knowledge unfolds itself. If you ever happen to be blessed with a real teacher, take care of that space of connectedness that exists between you. You know, it's not like a subway station or a bus stop or a taxi stand. It's not a place that you go to for a minute and then leave. It's a place that's sacred, that you want to hold sacred and sustain sacred, so that in that space, miracles can happen. Miracles want to happen in that space. If it ever happens for you that you find a real teacher, hold that space sacred. And what you'll discover is the space that you're holding sacred is the space of your innermost heart, which is the entryway into the house of God. The house that holds the breath inside the breath. Think about it. Namaste, everybody.